Hi, this is Richard Fields with this week's report from the fields. This reporter has spent literally decades promulgating the view that the Federal Reserve creation of new money, which they introduce into the economy in the form of debt, is probably the most evil and perverse thing done by the federal government. New money creation is usually necessary for inflation to occur. Inflation acts as a general sales tax by raising prices. Politicians love it for two reasons. First, it's a tax they can't get blamed for enacting. Second, it causes myriad distortions in the economy, which gives politicians an excuse to further meddle in the economy to help their constituents. Two of the propositions Californians will be voting for this fall demonstrate this principle. The first is Proposition 32, which would raise the minimum wage to $18 per hour in 2025. The market distortion minimum wages attempt to fix is prices rising faster than wages, and they have been. Once newly created Fed money is lent into the economy, the Fed has little control over where it will end up. Large corporations have more pricing power than low-skilled labor does. So, surprise, surprise, the cost of living has been rising faster than entry-level job wages do. Now, the politicians or their brethren in Washington, D.C., who created the problem by creating the Fed in the first place, get to mount their white horses and ride to the rescue by arbitrarily raising the minimum wage. The result will be entirely predictable. Workers lucky enough to get one of the minimum wage jobs will make a little more money, but workers with lower skills, teenagers, perhaps minorities, will end up with no job at all. A minimum wage set too far above market rates will always and everywhere result in increased unemployment among the least skilled among us, resulting in more crime and more welfare dependence. The second is Proposition 33. It would unleash local governments to impose rent control. The culprit, again, is inflation, which affects different people in different ways. The minimum wage tries to keep the cost of labor high relative to consumables. Rent control tries to keep at least one price low compared to wages. While minimum wage laws create a shortage of jobs, rent control laws create a shortage of housing. A shortage of housing will increase the already rampant problem of homelessness. Both of these problems, lack of a living wage and lack of affordable housing, should be attacked at their core, eliminating the Federal Reserve, whose inflationary policies cause price shortages in the first place. In addition, California could dramatically increase the stock of housing by dramatically reforming its not my backyard environmental laws, zoning restrictions, and complex building regulations, not to mention high property taxes. That's this week's report from the fields. I'm Richard Fields. See you again next week.